Let's quickly cut across and bring in Shreya Kundu into this conversation, because Shreya, you've been looking at the Bangladeshi media, you've been talking to analysts, the significance of these election results and why Tariq Rahman matters, especially now, and not just for Bangladesh, but even India, Shreya.
Very true, Gaurav. Very good morning to you and Geeta, and of course our panelists. Just quickly, to take our viewers through why is India at this given point of time watching this very election closely. Of course, it comes in as a very crucial election. We'll take you through those details later. But it's a potential impact on New Delhi's ties with India. Because remember, all these 19 months, there has been an upheaval in those very ties. There have been strains that we've looked at in the India-Bangladesh ties, which is why this election and who gets into governance next, who gets into power next in Bangladesh, indeed matters for those very ties. And another part, why this strain is also because of Bangladesh's bonhomie with Pakistan after Hasina's ouster. There was an entire concern about if Jamaat does indeed get into power, will Bangladesh then get closer with Pakistan? Will those ties be affecting the India-Bangladesh ties at present? Those questions were also being speculated over. And more importantly, there has been an increase in killings of Hindus in Bangladesh. That's become the most important criteria when it comes to India-Bangladesh ties. India has consistently been taking cognizance of what has been going on in Bangladesh. We've taken a look at instances of extremism. We've taken a look at some atrocious activities that's gone ahead against Hindus in Bangladesh. And that will, of course, be a very big challenge for the next government to be addressing that comes into power. And now if we quickly take a look at the very significance of this poll in a wider context for Bangladesh in itself, why is this poll so important? It's the 13th national poll, remember, when we speak of this very election that's taking place. But it's the first election that's taking place after Sheikh Hasina's ouster. And this will be, of course, as we were mentioning, shaping India-Bangladesh ties in the upcoming times. Where exactly are we headed when we speak of those very ties? That will be a very important factor to look out at. The next point that comes in is these polls come in amid rampant anti-Hindu violence. Anti-Hindu violence having gripped Bangladesh, and the number of cases that have been coming in from there have indeed raised some very grave concerns about the safety and security of Hindus in Bangladesh, because they also form quite a population amongst the minority communities. And this will be a test for the democratic norms. When we speak of democratic norms, there's institutional reforms that we're looking at. More importantly, the entire upheaval within the political landscape of Bangladesh, that is also something that requires stability, and that is why people could be seen in the numbers that they came out yesterday to cast their vote in Bangladesh. A promising number, of course, which we have been going through since yesterday itself. And rights of minorities, it's not just Hindus that we're speaking of here, viewers, it's also other minority communities that has been taken into cognizance by world leaders at this point of time, not just India, because minority right is at stake. There have been concerns about human rights and that being violated in Bangladesh in this very period ever since Sheikh Hasina's ousting took place in July 2024. And of course, the verdict on the success of Yunus's interim government, that also the report card that will be coming out after the new government comes into power in Bangladesh. And of course, the bigger question that needs to be also addressed here is what is next for Yunus as well. So all of these answers to be looked at, and probably what the people are waiting for at this given point of time in Bangladesh. There's another aspect that we'll take you through here, which is why Tariq Rahman matters for India, given that BNP is already leading and Tariq Rahman has come back after 17 years actively into the political landscape of Bangladesh. It's important because Tariq's BNP is seen as a more liberal option. Of course, in the past, we have seen the BNP at certain points being opposed to the India-Bangladesh ties that were being shared between the two countries. But Tariq Rahman, in this particular chapter, political chapter of his, has been seen as a more liberal option as opposed to the Jamaat and the alliance that also was contesting this very election. And Tariq has had differences with the Yunus government as well, because there have been certain flashpoints on which the Yunus government and the BNP led by Tariq Rahman has not agreed upon. So that will also be a very crucial point that India will be looking at this point of time. And Tariq has been critical of Jamaat. That is a very crucial point when we speak of, because as we were referring earlier, the closeness of Bangladesh with Pakistan, the proximity of relations that Bangladesh shares with Pakistan, that comes in as a very crucial point that India is definitely looking at. And India and BNP may as well be resetting the ties, because it has been a tumultuous period that we've looked at when we speak of those relations between the two countries. So yes, this is a very crucial election, and India is watching very closely, and so is the world.